Yeah. It became still. Let me check. Let me check. Yeah, you're live. We're live now. We're back. Sports. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Trying to convince also. You're trying to convince the examiner that you're, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's our dilemma. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. There you're back, but it's still loading.
So that's our
Now you
yeah.
have audio.
Now I can hear your playback. I can hear you, so you have to. All right, so we're
Yeah.
ready. So we're ready, girl. We're ready. We're back. We're back. The live stream is back again. There's technical issues. I will have to. Complete. I have to uh, resolve this in my next week's live stream. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, at
How do
least
we?
you've learned something.
Yeah.
I mean, you've learned how to do this. What do you call that? This
Yeah.
scheduled live.
Anyway, anyway, let's talk about how we lie. Lying is okay as long as your lie it's not believable, but the English is correct. Grammar is
Mm-hmm.
correct. It sounds flawless. It doesn't necessarily have to be. It doesn't necessarily have to be some sort of lie that would get you in trouble. But
Yeah,
I
but
suppose I suppose it's difficult to answer this question.
mhm.
I'm
Somehow, Besh, I would say that you must train yourself to be a good storyteller,
Yeah,
because
I
when
think
when
so.
when we're talking about part two, it's about storytelling. So you need to have this idea. You need to make in your 1 minute. You need to have this idea, picture it out, and then talk
Uh,
about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's you have to be very descriptive if you're going to make a lie.
Yes.
I think that's the caveat here. The next thing that I would suggest is try to immerse yourself in as many questions as you want, as you can, specifically part two and part three questions. And
Mm-hmm.
if it has something to do with a lie, go at it. Make
Go
a
for it.
lie,
Yes,
lie
go
to
for
your
it.
heart's content. Lie to your heart's content. That's an idiomatic expression. You can add it to your compendium of lies.
Lies.
Yeah, you can add it to a large compendium of lies that you can say. And what else is there? What else? Some of the suggestions there. Immerse yourself. Try to make a story beforehand. Like for example, in my case, I
Mm-hmm.
don't like the question. I don't like the question. What advice would you give to somebody? What piece of advice would you give to
Or
someone who is
someone,
in
yeah,
trouble?
someone gave, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What piece of advice? I would have to go through. Would have to write that on a piece of paper, and then whenever that thing comes up, because a lot of us we
Comes out,
review,
yeah.
yeah, a lot of us we would review for this. We would try mock exams like months before our exam, so
Mm-hmm.
it becomes repetitive. It becomes repetitive, right? The questions are often time
Yeah.
have some sort of redundancy, and if it keeps getting repeated and you're still
Sorry.
not developing, and you think and the comments are still the same, you're not developing. uh, I think that's the time you should at least try to modify some things that may not sound good, right? Like for example, the grammar,
Yeah.
or maybe try being truthful. I think that's the time that you have to be truthful. Correct? Would that be correct?
Yeah, and I believe like during the preparation you have these notes that you like. This is by talking about my experience. So, and I track my progress
Mhm.
by, let's say, for example, in those first few mocks, I have this error of saying very lots,
Yeah,
like really like I'm
I think.
parroting, or I'm
Yeah, I
making
think.
like overuse of this word. So the next mock, I should like limit myself using those. So I have this like a track, like the tracking of my progress. So,
Uh-huh,
and
uh-huh.
in my, let's say, in my month preparation, in a month of preparation, I try to minimize those errors. It really helps actually.
For me, what did I do? I remember something somebody said to me, don't memorize the question, right? Don't memorize the
Mm-hmm.
questions. That's what they told me. And
Yeah.
try to answer it as honestly as you can.
Conversant, yeah.
Yeah. Which
Or
is
like it's
which is the
conversant.
which I think is the polar opposite of my previous advice. Try to answer it as if you're trying to talk with somebody. Um,
Mm-hmm.
as if you're having
As
a
conversant,
conversation.
yeah.
Yeah, as if you're having a
Yeah.
conversation with somebody. Um, let uh, what else? Sports. Yeah, I don't like those questions as well, but I think I can relate. Um, try to make it. Yeah, ho- we don't. I don't play a lot of sports, honestly. But
Yeah.
what I can say is that when I tackle on questions about sports, I relate it to gaming world, as you can tell
Mm-hmm.
because of my wonderful kitty ears, and I like to play it with a lot of people, with tons of people actually, and I sort of uh, segue the conversation to
Mm-hmm.
I segue the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I would try to divert the
That's
conversation in
okay.
such a way that it has something to do with competitiveness, but
Mm-hmm.
still, but still, the
Not going off topic, yeah.
yeah, I wasn't going on to off topic. Yeah, something like that. And I
Mm-hmm.
suppose that's one way of trying, one way of trying to, one way of trying to tackle on that kind of question. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
what about in your experience? Can you share me a little bit of your thoughts with regards to?
About the sport, let's say, because during our active, like in our primary school, we have this physical education subject. So I can relate that sport is like this. We will talk about the past.
Mhm.
So in my younger years, mainly in my primary school, I've
Or how would
experienced
we
to,
say
yeah,
this?
like those.
How would we say it in an IELTS way? In our formative years, right? Wow, that's
I think, yeah,
uh,
primary. I would like to I think
yeah, another way. Yeah,
primary
primary or
school, or yeah, like those. I would talk about that because those are the times that I was really engaging into sports
yeah.
because it's a requirement. Yeah, it's a subject at school. Then After that, I would say that I used to watch sports, but not really into participating. I would be the cheerer, for example, in a basketball or any
So,
competitive tournament.
so
But
would it be
I
safe
will
to
be the
say, would it be safe to say that you're not a sporty person as well?
yes, yes,
Or,
I would say that.
yeah, same here. I'm not very athletic.
Yeah.
And how would you answer this? You would how would you, as based on my advice earlier, how would you modify your answer in such a way that you're relating it to your own personal experience? We're talking about part two, by the way.
Yeah. So I will describe it in the past. Let's say I will say so in I will if my memory serves me right, it was in my primary school that I engaged myself into this sports, especially volleyball. This is the one of the requirements to pass my my practical exam, and we played it in groups.
Mm-hmm,
So there's a group of 5 members in a
mm-hmm.
team. And it's like mainly I will describe how the game is played. And
Yeah,
then I will end it
wonderful.
up like yeah, I will end it up like so at present I am not really into sports because I'm busy earning a living. But
Mm-hmm,
I would say I in my free time I would if I would have a chance I will be maybe watching some of those sports just to reminisce the experience that I had during my childhood. But
yeah.
then I will not have really the time to play one of those.
All right.
Maybe a cheerer, yeah,
All right.
in a
Okay,
company
so
tournament like
we're
those.
at our 30-minute mark. Now, would you be
Mm-hmm.
all right with the challenge of trying to ask each other questions or doing a mock exam? Would you? Oh my
Okay,
God, you already
sure.
prepared. Oh my gosh, I'm
Not
scared.
really, not
I'm
really.
scared. I'm scared.
I know you. You're fond of surprises, so I'm not surprised.
Oh my gosh. Actually,
You
I did
will have
prepare.
a mo-
Actually, I did
me
prepare to
too.
ask you a question about a mock exam, but since we're at our 30-minute mark and nobody has sent me questions about the things that they dislike aside from my
Did they
friend, aside from
okay.
sports, and yeah, 7 people have, how many people have answered? 11 people have voted, have already voted, and 73% of them have voted yes, they don't like it. Now, if you are listening right
Mm-hmm.
now, if these 11 people are listening right now, I would like you guys to type in some of the topics that you don't like and maybe don't like,
Let's try. Yeah,
and we'll
let's
try
try
it.
to brainstorm.
Yeah, and we'll
Yeah.
try to brainstorm it some other time, or maybe today if we still have time, because we only have 1 hour. Because I know a lot of us are at work or just got out of work, and we need
Yes,
to,
it's me.
yeah, we need to
Got
have,
that over.
girl, same. I have to wake up tomorrow early. I have to deliver a lecture, but I still need this. I think I still need
This
to do
is
the
how we are.
podcast.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is how we are committed with this
Yeah.
podcast.
So yeah, because we're so committed in doing this podcast, um, would you please, if anybody of our subscribers, please, or of our from our viewers, I don't know how many viewers we have because there's no display here anymore. But I remember there was 5 concurrent viewers. But yeah, if there's anybody there who would like to help us in any way, one way you can do so is by hitting that subscribe button and clicking that like button, because the more people we get to share this with, the more likely we're
Yes.
gonna get
We're
motivated in doing more live streams in the future. Yeah, self promotion, I know, but yeah, we're in YouTube, so whatevs, guys, whatevs. And don't forget to click that like button. It's that thumbs up button if you don't know. All right. Anyway, Jovi, are you ready? Do you have your picture?
okay.
Do you have your questions
No.
with you? Do you have your questions with you?
No. I will yeah, I will just make something up.
Oh my God. So see, she's lying. She's lying to her teeth. She said she likes surprises, but unfortunately, try and help you. I'm gonna try and help you with the. Can you hear me? Because it says here my microphone is
Yeah.
out. All right.
Hi,
So,
there's a comment about okay.
uh,
Topics regarding arts or puzzle makes me puke. I don't have anything in my mind.
Michael Ray is actually a friend of mine. He was my classmate in medical laboratory in the Bachelor of Medical Laboratory Sciences when I was in the Philippines. Yes, he's a friend
Oh
of mine who
wow, hello.
I think he's taking an exam. I think he's taking his exam sometime in the near
Okay.
future, and I'd like to congratulate him right now in advance. Right?
In
let's try to
advance.
let's try to congratulate him in advance. All right. So,
Sure, sure.
what questions does
Claim
he
it.
like? We'll try to answer this one, uh, Michael. We'll try to answer this
Arts.
one
Yeah.
maybe if we finish early. All right, because Jovi is gonna time me. I'm gonna send her some of the copy of the questions. What was that thing that you don't like? Museums, right?
Yes, museums.
All right. So I think wait, let me look at it in yeah, I think it's here. Don't have museums in the I'm searching for it. Sorry, we're not prepared for the question and answer portion because we were expecting the people to share some of the questions that they
To
don't
share
like.
something. Okay. But
Unfortunately,
let's try.
because
I
of
think
the yeah, here we have arts, right? I just saw art.
yes,
All
arts.
right. So
Arts and
who
puzzle actually.
who would be are you willing to
Us and
answer the question
puzzle.
or are you gonna ask me the questions?
Actually, I'm willing to answer the puzzle question.
Um, but I only found
Can you
questions.
answer the arts
All
question?
right, so I'll try to answer questions about the arts. Okay,
Yeah.
art question.
I'll answer the puzzle.
All right, so the, I think arts are questions for the part one, I suppose. Yeah. So
Oh
these
yeah,
are
and I guess there's a part two where you like describe.
describe an
mm,
artwork that you recently saw, right?
Yes, that's
All
it.
right, so I'm copy and pasting some of the questions in our Zoom meeting, Jovi. All right.
Yeah, sure. I've
So,
seen one. I've seen here. I've seen it.
okay.
Yeah.
So you're gonna ask me those questions, and let's try with
Okay,
how many questions do we
got
have?
it.
Five? Or let's try with
Yeah.
six. All right, let's try
Okay.
with six, and then museums. I saw museum. Oh my God,
Okay.
museums. Oh my God, am I the only one who's gonna do a
You will
mock today?
kill me, really.
Are
With
you?
this museum.
I'm going to. Am I the only one who's gonna answer questions about museums? All right, museum. My gosh, IELTS part two.
Oh wow, I have a friend. Hello, shout out to Emmy. Hi,
I'm
Emmy.
I'm a big fan of Mr. Manuel. Right. Well, thank you so much for being a fan. But if you're a big fan, please help me out by liking this video or this live stream, and what else is there? Subscribing to the channel because it really helps us out a lot.
Yeah.
It motivates us to share a part of our lives to you guys. All right, let's what's that? Where's that museum question? I lost it because of here.
I think we can use this one. Have you ever been to an art gallery, or I would say, have you ever
This
been
one.
to an
I just
art
saw it.
museum?
It's the one from this one is this one. It's the one from the app. Somebody shared it.
Okay.
So yeah. So part one, part
Yeah, we
two,
because
you're
we
going to
finished the subscription of our
yeah.
app. Yeah.
Unfortunately,
You don't have
yeah, I
actually.
don't have the app, but yeah. Anyway, let's try to
Yeah.
answer these questions. You try.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to cover you as much as I can because I don't want to prepare the questions beforehand. So I'm gonna try and cover you up. Wait, I
Okay,
covered you entirely. Oh crap.
it's
Unfortunately,
fine.
crap. I covered you entirely. Um, yeah.
I
So
can see my face still
I covered you.
here in the.
Girl, I covered you entirely. Oh, there you
Mhm.
go. All right. So let's try and answer some of these arts question. Okay.
Okay,
I'll be the
so I
examiner.
ask you about art.
All right. Before we do it,
Mm-hmm.
we have to at least try and make other people be familiarized with the mock exam. So you have to do the introductions
Yeah.
as well. All right. So
Okay. So here we go. So I'll be the examiner.
mhm. Yeah.
So good evening. I'm Jovi Jean Bailon, and this is the IELTS speaking test delivered here in
Abu Dhabi. Where are you right
British
now?
Council, yeah,
Wow.
British Council, Dubai.
Wow.
And can you state your name, please?
Hi, my name is Manuel. You can call me Manny for short.
Okay, Manny. So let's move on to your part one question.
All right.
So, are you good at art?
I would like to say so, yeah. Yes. When I was a kid, I've always enjoyed attending my art classes, especially the finger painting portion of it. I've enjoyed it so much that I brought some of it at the house. I bought some of the paint at the house, and my mother was terrified at whatever mess I'm going to make. And so I don't, I think, yeah, I would say I'm good at art even right now, as I'm a bit older. I try to doodle as much as I can, and I suppose my art is subjective and positively I would say I'm personally my drawings are speak to me on a personal level.
Okay. So, what kind of art do you like?
Well, as I mentioned before, I like paintings, but it doesn't necessarily include my preference. Preferences isn't just solely on paintings. I enjoy looking at architecture. For example, when I look at the Burj Khalifa, the interior portion of it, it's an amazing experience to look at. Even though I haven't been there, when I see pictures, I imagine myself in places such as those, and I would just marvel for hours.
Okay. So, is art popular in your country?
Of course, there's different types of arts that are that are present in, I would say, the art scene in the Philippines. One of the things that I would like to talk about would probably be the street arts or the street performers, wherein people would act like sculptures and they wouldn't move for several hours, and people oftentimes get fooled by which one is a statue and which one is an actual person, a living breathing person. And I suppose there are also other forms of art in the Philippines, such as music, although in this particular genre of art is more of the technical side of art rather than the creative part of art.
Okay. So, that's the end of your part one.
It's a bit too long, right? It's a bit too
Yeah,
long.
it's quite long.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's fine. As long as you have something in mind, just keep on talking. The examiner will just cut you off because at first you're
Yeah.
always like answering the question, but you keep elaborating it.
Mhm.
But then in the actual examination, the examiner will
We
just
have
cut you
we
off.
have six questions, but you just gave me two, so it's okay. All right.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, this is just your part one.
uh-huh.
Then we will have it maybe in part two or part three. I
Yeah.
will answer the part two question.
All right.
Is
You're
it
gonna
the museum? Are you sure with this one?
All right, try your best.
this is
Try your best.
this is really my water
Mind
though.
you guys, we're not the best people, but we did pass the desired band score, and I don't know if
Yeah.
you might I don't know if some people might be inspired or some people might be rattled by our performance, but we're average performing students of IELTS. So don't be
Yes.
discouraged about how you are performing as of the moment. Just keep on practicing. All right. So
Yes,
Jovi,
true, true.
I will be your timer.
Okay.
I'll be the one timing you.
Mm-hmm. Describe a museum. So
Yeah.
I will, this is my question. Describe a museum. When you visited the museum, describe the museum and how you felt after going there.
All right. So how many minutes do you want me to let you prepare? A minute
Uh,
or a minute?
let's short it.
Oh,
Let's cut
okay.
it short
All
because
right.
it will
I'll
save
give
time
you
for us.
yeah, I'll give you 15 seconds and
Okay.
hopefully you can gather your thoughts in 15 seconds because we have a live stream and some people are
Yeah.
I think some people are commenting on things that they don't like. Um
Yes.
I'm not gonna say I'm a fan of
Okay. So here we go. We'll go
all right.
to this
All
part
right.
two
So yeah,
question.
yeah. So you have 2 minutes to talk about a museum that you recently visited, and your timer would start now. It's going to start now. All right, you may begin.
Okay. Okay. To be honest, I'm not really a big fan of museums because unfortunately, I just visited only once, and that would be in my like primary years. But just to start, I would describe it like it was a remarkable experience for me as a student by that time. I think I was in my fourth grade when we had this educational trip, and one of the things that we would go for is the art museum. It is located in the city, and I didn't really felt good during that day because I'm having a car sick. I am having a sickness, let's say the motion sickness during the trip. But then I could vividly remember that there's an artwork which show it's a painting which shows the farmland, the household, and the simple life in the countryside. So that in mind really made a impact on me, and I appreciate the simplicity of life, especially whenever we have these struggles in life. But then there is a big sun coming picturing out there, and then it gives me the ray of light that whenever you are having some problems or troubles in life, there is still a brighter side. And whenever I have this picture or these drawings, I would relate it to my first experience when I visited the museum. Looking forward, I would love to go back there and visit this place again. It is located in my home country. I would like to check how is it now. Hopefully they expand the institution, although
All right.
it's
I'm sorry, Jovi, but that's the end of your 2 minutes.
okay.
I'm terribly sorry to cut you off.
No worries.
All right. So, see, guys, she doesn't like museums, but she got through it. I believe there are
Yeah.
some. I believe there are some white lies there lying around.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a little bit of lies.
For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
for
know
sure.
there was a
Because
little
I
bit of a.
cannot I
Do you really like to visit it?
it's
Would you really like to visit it
no,
again?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I would
All
love
right.
to, but maybe it will be a different perspective now. I
Uh
would be, let's say, like it is mainly maybe I would have someone or my kid, like it's not only for me, but it's like for my family. That
huh.
just, you know, I
Understood.
would love them to
Like a
learn
family
about
trip.
that. Not
You would say
yes, a
it would be a
family trip.
family trip, not more of an educational trip, right?
Yes. True.
Minus
Yeah,
the
yeah.
effects of academics. I think
Yeah.
yeah, I think outside the realms rather of academics, I think
Academics. Yeah.
a family trip would be a nicer way or a nicer experience for people to just chill out in a museum, right?
Yeah, true.
All right.
And it's like, we don't need to, I'm expecting something like a report when we are visiting or when
Right.
we're
Yeah,
having
I know. I
educational
know.
tour. So
Like
that's
a
those
like
things.
I remember when I was a kid, there was reflection papers that you have to
Yes,
when you visit something,
reflection paper.
yeah, you have to reflect the. I don't know really what to write on these things, especially because
Yes.
I was only making random doodles on the piece of paper that they would provide you. But yeah, Jello
Mm-hmm.
Ferrer said he doesn't. Jello, I don't know if you're a boy or a girl. I would say,
Politics.
yeah, he doesn't like politics. Yeah, me too. I think the
Yeah,
Philippines.
I think
I think the
is
Philippines.
there a question, IELTS
I
question
don't
that
think
relates to
so.
politics?
I don't think so.
Or
But
maybe there is something
questions about
about
the
in part
government.
3.
I think
Yeah,
questions
part
about the
3
government.
probably.
Yeah, I think some of the questions would go out something like this. Do you think do you think museums should be
Government is
funded by the
supporting enough
government?
like
Yeah,
that. Yes.
yeah,
Or
or something
supporting
like.
enough art galleries or traditions, or let's
Yeah,
say
yeah.
those
Heritage
museums.
sites, right?
Like,
Yeah, heritage
yes,
sites. All right.
those questions would come up in your part 3 probably.
Yeah, but they won't ask you questions about politics because I think the
Yes.
British Council and IDP are politically neutral. I'm not sure. I don't.
Yeah, yeah.
I've heard some. I heard a YouTube video before that they're not going to ask you about your political stance because it has something to do with the political neutrality of the person who founded the exam. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong in this. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
anybody can write it on the comment section or in the chat box. Yeah, whatever. All right, so let's move on to part three questions. Who would you want to answer, me or you, lady? Would
Okay,
you want me to answer
okay.
the
I
question?
would ask
Oh
one
my god.
question for you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I would ask.
And then we'll try to.
So
All
what?
right.
Yes.
All right,
Okay.
follow
So
up questions
for
about
part 3.
museums. All right.
Yes. So part 3, this is your question. What type of museum is popular in your country?
All right, let's go back to my advice earlier. I would lie, right?
Yeah.
I would lie. What type of,
Yes,
yeah.
definitely,
All
because
right.
we're not that much.
We want to share some of
Right.
our advices to the
And
people who are
yes.
in the who are pieces of advice, rather, not advices. Advices is wrong. Please don't copy
Yeah.
that, guys. But yeah. So what type of museums are popular in your country? I'm gonna lie. There's not.
Country.
Yeah. I think the I think most historical places that people often visit in our country is museums. I no. I think that's wrong. See, I'm already messing up because I'm lying. I'm gonna
Because
answer
you're
it.
lying.
Yeah. So that guys is not a good it's not a good way of answering the question. If you already have some examples in your head, just try to go with it. So I'm gonna go with what's on my head because I don't like to lie about it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I think the most popular places in terms of museums in my country would probably be the National Museum of History. It's located in the city of Manila, which is the capital city of the Philippines. It houses a large compendium of artifacts as well as archaeological findings from thousands of years ago. I suppose it's popular for the masses primarily because of the fact that it has a ton of educational activities for the young people who visit these places. Fortunately enough
Mm-hmm.
for me, I was able to visit it. However, if I were to be asked again in the future, I would probably not visit it because I don't think it's my cup of tea. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I didn't use the
So
Oreo
at
method.
least,
I didn't use the Oreo
yeah,
method
but
there, but I tried to answer it as best as I can. Hopefully that gave me
because
an
it's also
yeah.
asking about your, like,
Yeah.
it's a open-ended question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
what?
an
Yeah,
open-ended
you will need
question.
to answer. Yeah, what type of
Yeah, it's
museum? And you
open-ended.
have this great, yeah,
Yeah.
great vocab, artifacts.
Mm-mm.
What
Compendium. Oh, wow, I
else?
said compendium.
Yeah,
Yeah, compendium for your information,
I
guys.
didn't
Those
grasp that actually. Can you explain that for us?
compendium is basically a collection of knowledge or a collection of
Okay.
something. Well, in this context, it's a collection of knowledge. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's basically
Compendium.
compendium. Compendium.
A
Or
compendium.
it's not
Okay.
highfalutin. I
Great
used it
word.
accurately because there's a collection, or there's a great collection of it in my country. So all right, next question. I'll try to answer it again. I don't like museums. Give me one
Okay. So, how often do you visit museums?
more. Not so much as of the moment, primarily because there's not a lot of museums in this particular part of Saudi Arabia. However, when I was a child, each year we were often asked in a subject about geography. I think it was something related to social studies, where we would often
Mm-hmm.
be asked to go to certain place, certain parts of the city where there's a ton of museums. Um, unfortunately, as of the moment, because of my busy schedule and because of the
Mm-hmm.
distance from the capital city of Riyadh here in Saudi Arabia, I'm not so keen on visiting these places anymore. So that's my idea on this
Okay.
question. Honestly, I'm closing it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to close it. All right. Last
Yeah.
question. Last question before
You can ask me
I'm
one
gonna
question if
ask
you
you.
want.
I'm gonna ask you a
Okay.
question. Compare, this is something from the chat box that I've sent to you. I'm gonna pop it up. All right. So compare museums nowadays than that in the past. Oh, so you're going to be asked to
Oh, wow.
compare.
Comparison. Okay.
All right.
So, in my mind, um in my mind, the past museums are mostly more of the objects that has been found, or that has been like artifacts, as what you said. So it presents more of the objects that that became a part of the history. But I as technology progresses, I would say that nowadays museums are more into digital. What I would say, what I would like to point out is that educational places like museums have this, let's say, PowerPoint presentations or audio visuals that plays along the day, or in their alley, or in their big screen, that would appreciate the happenings, or the films, the historical news that was presented on that time. Because I think this is like more of it can picture out more of what really happened on that day, and it can catch more audience, to be honest. Uh just by showing a film, a short clip
Mhm.
will tickle the imagination of a
Oh,
viewer, or as a child in a museum, and
all right.
it would put them in a situation that will make their visit there more remarkable.
All
So
right.
that's my 2 cents on this question.
Oh,
Oh,
I love the fact that
I
you've
just
used two idiomatic expressions on one answer. Like seriously,
it's
girl.
just bombard them with,
Yeah,
because I
you're
don't have the
bombarding.
idea.
Yeah,
I don't have the great idea of museum, so I
but
just put
you,
on
but
my English.
mind you, you survived that, and you're not
Yes.
practicing as often as you can anymore. And
I
I
know.
appreciate, I
I'm more on the
appreciate
in the
that.
back. I'm more
Yeah.
of your supporter now, or your fan
Yeah,
now.
yeah. So kudos to you for trying to do that without that much practice. So yeah, so I can still
Yes,
see
I'm
that
not anymore practice.
there is an inkling of the practice that we had so much from the past. There's still an inkling of that in you. So I
Yeah.
admire that. I admire the tenacity and trying to stick with in trying to answer the questions. So you're no longer my support.
Thank
I
you
would
so much.
I'm going to promote you. I'm going to officially promote you to co-host. and then I suppose probably in the next few episodes, if people are going to subscribe and are going to like this video, then I would say you would probably replace me.
No, no, I'm not into. I'm just more of a supporter. I'm not
All
into
right.
this technical things, especially
All
in
right.
YouTube.
All right.
You own the crown.
There's a lot of people who voted. There's 15 people who voted. I didn't expect 15 people to vote. I was expecting like 5 people to vote, but yeah, 60% of them said they have difficulty. They have a lot of things that they hate talking about
Mm-hmm.
in the IELTS. So yeah, although there's only like 4 people who said that they don't like to talk about. There's actually 4 people who mentioned what specifically they don't like to talk about in the IELTS. We don't have time for that one, but yeah, let's try to put it down on the comments section later when the live ends, and then next week as part 2 of this, because we had a lot of technical difficulties at the start of
Yes,
the
yes.
at the start of this podcast. We're gonna tackle on questions like puzzles. I like that one because I
Mm-hmm.
love puzzles. So we're
Okay.
gonna try and show Michael Ray how we answer questions about puzzles, and then
Puzzles.
Jello Ferrer's question about politics. We're
Politics.
going
Okay.
to. I'm gonna. Let's try to prepare. Each of us will try to prepare part 3 questions related about the government, right? Like
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
ecosystem,
yeah.
like law,
Actually, I was
something like that.
asked in my actual examination about that. But let's
Let's talk
reserve
about
that
that
for next week.
next week.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys have a nice day. And the purpose again, just to remind the people who are new here, this is a quest. This is a live stream that has been going on for 5 episodes now, and we love the feedback that people are giving giving us throughout our. And we would like to give them thanks. So on behalf
Yes.
of Jovi Jean and me and some of the few members that we've interviewed in the past, thank you so much for attending our podcast and staying in
Mm-hmm.
for more than an hour. And those people who left likes on our show, we owe you so much. That's the best you can do for us, as well as subscribing to the channel, right? That's the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
We're not asking
Sure.
for much. We're not asking for much. We just want to share some of the stories of these people. Unfortunately for today, the reason why we have a topic and we don't have a guest for today, because some of our guests have canceled out because of previous commitments, and we try to understand them, and we would like to invite them again. This is an open forum and a safe
Mm-hmm.
place. There is only 2 people here who are forbidden to speak Tagalog, and that is me and my recently promoted co-host Jovi Jean.
Oh wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
So if you are watching and you've already passed the exam and you're a member of the IFNG family, we would like to invite you. Yes, I'm extending an advance invitation to you, Michael Ray, who is my classmate and one of my biggest fans, to please share your stories with us. We want main purpose is not to educate, but rather to inspire people to
Inspire, yeah.
yeah, to participate in building up a community for um I don't know, healthcare workers. We don't have it's not just I think IFNG group is no longer just a group for nurses.
Nurses group,
Yeah,
yeah.
we have people from all walks of life. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's an
Wow.
idiomatic expression by
Pneumatic.
itself. Yeah, so we have people who work in the paramedical or allied health, such as me. I'm a medical technologist.
Yeah.
Yeah, clinical laboratory scientist, if you want to be so formal. All right, and we have friends who work in the service industry. We also have friends
Yeah.
who work in the engineering sector, and many other people. And we would love to extend it. We would love to extend it to a ton of people around the world. And because of the online presence, we would love to thank all of you guys for helping us out. And with that, what do we say? How do we say goodbye in an IELTS fashion, Jovi?
So without further ado, I would like to we would like to end this podcast. Is
And
it right?
yeah, and please, 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 please be kind to one another. Yes, we have BPO Ludi. Yes, we have BPO also.
Okay.
We have a lot of
Yeah, yeah,
BPO
yeah.
people. Yeah, like Mr. Amir, right? Mr. Amir is a
Mm-hmm.
BPO. Yeah. But anyway, guys, we hope to see you guys next week. We're gonna continue on with the topic of let's talk about things that you hate in the IELTS.
The heated
Yeah,
questions
yeah,
in
the most hated
IELTS.
questions. And if you liked us today, please don't forget to subscribe. That would be the best thing that you could do for us. And if you like this video, please like it, click that thumbs up button, and of course, at the end of the video, if you want to add something else, you can comment down below. We wouldn't mind. Love you guys, and please be kind to one another.
Bye. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. All right.